where I began to see that something wasn't congruent within myself, was that, that my work and my profession was taking precedence over my family, and that's not who I am. I had a lot of internal pain going on because I knew I wasn't being congruent with who I was. But the bigger thing is that my family was suffering because of me. So I chose a new path, which was number one, getting out of the military. But then I had to find a new way, and I didn't have a new way. I didn't know what to do. For me, the process of getting that straight was number one was doing the things that were right in my face. I didn't like who I was as a man, as a father, as a husband. So it was like just problem solving. Okay, well, what can I do to work on my brain, to work on my emotions, to work on my spirituality? And I started attacking those things the same way I did with anything else in my life, with the same amount of enthusiasm, the same amount of willingness to go through that pain that was required for growth. And it was a months struggle, getting up in the morning feeling hopeless, but having that little bit of hope inside of me, like, hey, if I just keep going in the right direction, things are gonna work out. To be there for my brothers, to be there for my family, my actual brother, all of that kind of piece has always been my motivation. I'm better at putting others before myself, but I also know that in order to take care of them, I also have to take care of myself. And I was good at that in the military, but this was a whole new skill set. This was emotional healing, this was emotional work, this was courage unlike I had ever experienced. Because getting in a gunfight, what other people think maybe required courage, the three of us sitting here know that it didn't really require much courage. We were just kind of built for that. But I mean, when I sat down, say, with a psychologist, and talked about things that I didn't want to talk about. When I sat down with my sons, and had to have an intimate conversation with them. When I sat down with my wife, and had to approach these different aspects that I had never really had a skill set for. And what I found through all those hard times was things got better. I got better, they got better. Opportunities came, from just doing the next right thing. But I was built for that process, willingness, going through hard times, staying focused, sticking with it. Just like going to the gym or going to the range or going to the shoot house, all of that stuff. Took the same things that I already had within me and applied it to this new path. And it's always ongoing. From the time in 2010 when I got on this particular path, I've done all kinds of things. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. But I learned along the way. I had to engage in them. Use the gym, for example, right? We can talk about lifting. I can hear how you lift, and you can teach me, show me how you lift. That's cool. I can watch YouTube videos. I can go to the gym, and sit there. But until I go pick up that frickin' weight and start putting in strenuous effort and work, I'm not gonna get any results. It's the same thing in spirituality. It's the same thing in emotional healing. It's the same thing in emotional maturity, mental maturity. It's like I have to do the work. I can't pray it that way, though I pray a lot, but I know it's always been a spiritual program of action for me. And that has been the path that I found in 2010, this new one. And it's the warrior path. Hey, what do old warriors do is they teach, I'm not out there in the fight. I still long for the death in battle, but I'm not there anymore, So my job now as a warrior is to take all that I've had to continue to hone my skills, but also is to pass all the lessons learned, is to serve, still a life of service. Well, that's all I know. That's all I want to know.